Hello there, my name is Toasty Broski, and today we are going to read a creepypasta story. And I downloaded this a few days ago, so I only read like two, which is Don't Play with Fire and David's Diary. But, I just want to say, we're going to read one that is not those two, and after that, well, then maybe tomorrow or maybe later on, I will put a video of Don't Play with Fire or David's Diary, or I'll just do the two and upload the two later on. But, yeah. So, today we are going to read, you know what, let's read the new one. Let's read James. Freaking ads. I hate them. James. Put them in full screen. James by Horror Wolf Stories Official. No views yet. No ratings yet. No comment yet. Life-draining darkness pouring through the souls of dead and damned. Loss of love and making of new horror arrive. 21st century damnation into a house of age. We stared into the tablet monitor, watching outside the front door. One autumn evening, he started blankly into it, not caring to blink, not once. His mom came to him from behind, confused. She walked to him, patting his shoulder. "Hey, baby, what are you looking at?" He looked up to his mother, smiling and blinking. "I'm waiting for James, Mama." He looked back to the monitor, which only showed the wind blowing the trees and leaves scattering. The woman went to the kitchen where her husband is preparing the dinner, and trip-tip meat with the side of mashed potatoes and green beans. That sounds good. Hawaiian rolls added to this meal with a pitcher of crisp lemonade. The woman, grasping her left arm, walks to her husband, confused and okay. The people in Africa cannot read James, because thanks to them, the other ones are going to keep starving and maybe die, because it's going to get even more hungry, and then they're going to die even more faster. And I'm sorry if I offended anyone. I'm very sorry. Please don't hate me. "Hey, babe, the meat is almost ready. I just need to..." His comment was interrupted by him observing his wife's appearance. She held her sweater sleeve as it covered the scars on her arm. She had a distraught look on her face. "Hun, what's wrong?" the man asked, reaching to hold her waist. He was just talking about James," she said hesitantly. "He must be taking this hard on him, but I don't know. Could he be imagining things?" Wait, was that the wife or was that the wife or... I don't know. "Babe, you know kids, they'll just make up things to escape reality. Remember how we were how we were as teenagers?" The man spoke, trying to cheer her up. Wait, what? The man spoke, trying to cheer her up with a couple nudges. "Yeah, I guess you're right. But what'll happen when he realizes that he's dead? Oh, that he's dead," she said, worried. The man sighed and struggled his arm. He continued slicing the meat and preparing the food onto the table. The dead boy the woman was referring to was a boy named James, a young boy who was best friends with a little boy until he was fatally injured and later killed in a car accident. He was the only casualty in the hit-and-run incident. Not even the driver. His father was damn it! His father was injured. James had charcoal black hair that was shaggy and dirty most of the time. His jeans were usually ripped due to the amount of time he spent in the dirt on his knees. He was a pig pen, you could say, but many people thought he was adorable and very polite, unlike many kids their age who would wear name brand shirt or shirts with design on them. James would wear black shirts with a solid color. That way, he wouldn't get anything ripped or dirty. He would just wear a plain color like red, blue, or black. Very occasionally would he wear white. Just so happens that they say he was killed. He was wearing white, but there was no occasion that day. He just felt wearing it that day. As the father served dinner, almost finished in fact, he heard the front door open. He thought it was his wife, but she had gone to the restroom not too long before. It was his son opening the door, letting the afternoon breeze for a couple of seconds before closing it and rushing upstairs. That was weird, the father thought. He went back to work until his wife, who had just returned, asked what the noise was. He told her what happened and then suspiciously walked upstairs to see what her little boy was up to. Each step she took at the carpet-coated stairs only made it more creepy for her. She could hear her son's laughter muffled in this. If I had a son and I hear his laughter upstairs, I would call. No, I wouldn't go up there alone. No, I would leave the house. That's it. The creaking of the steps only made it worse as they headed her way up. She reached the top, but froze as she saw something in the mirror. It looked like the same substance as fog. She rubbed her fingers into the glass. She rubbed her finger. Wait, what? Onto the glass. Oh, I thought it said into the glass. She rubbed her fingers together, but as she did so, it didn't turn wet. Like water at all, it felt thick and somewhat sticky. She smelled it and it gave off a metallic stench. She licked it and it gave off a blood flavor. Shocked, she looked back at the mirror as the same substance turned red and spelled out in horrific words. "I'm back," it said. She looked closer until she saw something behind her in the mirror. Oh, shit! She shot back, looking at her surroundings, but saw nothing. She shook her head and looked back to the mirror. The red blood-like substance has disappeared. She walked past the mirror towards her son's room, shaken up. She listened closely to the door as she tries to make up what her son is saying. She couldn't make it out perfectly, so she opened the door. She walked in completely weirded out. Her son was on the floor in a handmade fort, made of blankets, sheets, towels, almost anything that could cover up someone up, and tied to chairs and bedposts. "Honey, who are you talking to?" she asked. Her son jumped up to his mother walking in. "Mom, you scared me." He tried to catch his breath as he responded to her question. "I was talking to James. He has an amazing stories." She has an amazing... It's a he! Fuck! He has an amazing stories. Is it like that? Isn't it supposed to be story? What? No. His mother looked shocked and scared. Her hair stood up and looked to her son. "Want to listen?" He said innocently. She shook his head and told him no. She began to close the door until she stopped. "Dinner will be done soon. Get cleaned up and ready to eat," she told him, then closing the door. I wouldn't be in that house anymore. I would not be in that house anymore. She rushed downstairs, terrified, and ran to her husband. He held her close to his body as she vented the scary incident to him. Shocked, her husband held her close and promised her that he'd talk to their son. It was time for dinner. The young boy walked to his chair and sat down. Dinner was fine like usual. The parents didn't try to ask their son about James until their son brought him up. He was reciting a poem that James had just taught him. Laughing, laughing, the sound of children goes... What the hell is this? This is not a good poem for him to be learning. Laughing, laughing, the sound of children goes. The devil I may be, for now I eat their souls. I'm sorry for my language. What the fuck is this poem? It is not. Why? James, what the fuck? Anyway, his parents look with complete shock as he continues. I just heard a sound. What the hell was that? I think it was outside my house. Okay. His parents look with complete shock as he continues the second verse. Laughing, laughing, the sound of children goes. For hell this world shall be, where all the demons roam. Terrified and shocked, the parents demanded the boy where he found that poem. He told them it was James who had told them. They interrupted the meal and rushed him to their psychiatrist, worried that he might be going insane or having some mental problem or disorder. No way. Wait, damn it. Could he had just made up that poem? Something was really wrong with him. An hour passed and the doctor came back to the parents who sat in the hallway. Well, he seems perfectly fine. He has the same case as a lot of boys. His girls. Once they lose someone close to him, James, correct? They'll make up their existence until they can cope with them being gone. Like an imaginary friend, you could say. He explained to them to give them cope and is lost and help cope with it as well. That's what I do. Like my best friend died. Like my best friend died, and like right now I just accept, like, he doesn't, I still talk with him, like, obviously my imaginary friend of him, cause I can't get over his death. Okay, he was my best friend. We did everything together. Like, not sexual things. We did everything together. We ate together. We, like, if we're going somewhere to the beach, we go together if we can. We even, like, went to a freaking well, it wasn't haunted. It looked like we went to an abandoned place which looked haunted and it sounded haunted. I don't remember where it was. It was like in the forest. But my God, I'm only 13 years old and I had to escape my mother. Okay, so yeah. So yeah, we did everything together. But he died. Like, he got sick. He had cancer. So I miss him so much. But anyway, enough of sadness. They ride back home without a word being said in the car, neither music playing, which the father loves listening to as he drives. But in this case, no music was on. They opened the door to their house and were stopped in their tracks. The wallpaper had marks in them, reaching from the roof to the floor, like claws or a knife mark. The furniture was thrown across the room, and some upside-down picture frame broken, and other antiques. There was nothing then that but the word on the wall in front of the door saying, "Why are you trying? Why are you trying? He's mine." In the same red liquor scene on the mirror. The father called 911. Everybody call 911! And when the police arrived, nothing could be found. Woo! Okay. No DNA, hair samples, footprints, nothing. The red substance seemed to be pig's blood. I knew it! I knew it was an animal blood. Especially pig. What the hell, man? Like, like every single freaking seance, there has to be blood. Especially pig's blood. What the hell do demons have with pigs? You bastards! No fingerprints could be seen in the blood. That night, the family went to the nearest hotel, as the police kept their house as a crime scene, although there was no evidence of any break-in activity. The father stayed up that night, making sure nobody is coming for his family. He had nothing to eat for dinner and no rest. The next day, the father had to ship off to work early in the morning with no sleep and an empty stomach. He went down to the freeway and realized the music on the radio was having static. He attempted to find a stable radio station to listen to. There was no hope. He kept searching, but it just seemed to make the static louder. He decided to turn the radio off, but it wouldn't become silent. He became paranoid at this point and began giving the radio his full focus. Seconds later, he hears his name being screamed out by what seemed to be his wife. As he looked up to see a car frozen in its track, he rammed into the car and was killed almost instantly from the impact. Metal had stabbed him from the car in front of him into his chest, stabbing straight into his lungs and cutting his spinal cord out. Oh shit! Blood poured out of his mouth like rabies, and his eyes each had a tear going down. His final breath was given as he hears the radio speaking in a high-pitched voice, almost like his son's voice. How does it feel to die in a car accident, and now your son will be mine. The phantom says as the radio dies off and the father lays dead in the driver's seat of his car, and only fatally in the accident. The mother at this time had woken up to her husband leaving for work, and she decided to let her son asleep. She get in the bathroom and undressed her. Okay, yeah, you don't have to explain that part. She turned on the shower and stepped in. The steam rushed into her lungs like venom in a bloodstream. The lavender with water soothed her overstressed muscles and skin. She looked at the faintly clear shower door through the fog and steam and saw a Thinking it was her son, she called out for him. The figure responded to her word with a single tilt of his head. She called over and over until she realized something was wrong. It wasn't her son. She quickly shut off the shower and looked back at when the figure was standing, but it was gone. In confusion, she looked around. Then she saw the floor by itself with a single stainless steel kitchen knife. And the group on the steep was covered in blood. She started shock until everything was interrupted by her screams. The shower water had been turned on again, but in extreme heat. An attempt to flee, the mother slipped and fell, hitting her head in the stable rim. She had painfully drowned in overheated water. The water wrinkled, pinkened, and burned her whole body. An hour passed, and the boy had awoken from his slumber. He looked to the other bedroom. He got up and was calling of his mom, and continued minutes until he saw his friend James. Hey James, have you seen my parents? I've been looking for a while, and I can't seem to find them, the boy tells the phantom. Yeah, the faint of a voice says. They left a while ago, but we'll be back. They went to get breakfast. Okay. Okay. Al, the boy says as he holds his forehead. I have a headache, the boy moans as James looking at him. Oh, it's okay. I got you, he says as he pulled aspirin out of the mother's purse. Here, you take some. The boy grabs the bottle. Notice it's a full bottle. Asked James how much could you take. He had never taken real pills for headache medicine. Felt safe with James telling him how much. Take the whole bottle. Oh, no. Okay? It seemed to him like James was telling the truth. It seemed like something adults would do. Since it was his first time, the boy agreed with James. He opened up. That is not something you should put there. It was his first time. Like, what the hell? The boy agreed with James. He opened up the bottle and looked at them. They were small oranges, circular pills. They each had about 5 numbers on them. The boy shot up. "Oh, I almost forgot to get a water bottle." The boy got up and grabbed a water bottle from the fridge and opened it, then took a sip. He walked back to bed and sat on the foot of the bed. He picked out one pill and stared at it, then swallowed it with a sip of water, then another. 1, 2, 3 pills, going on 10, now 15 by his 17. He felt nauseous and his vision became blurry. He called out for James, but no one answered. He heard only one small chuckle. "Don't worry, now we can play and your parents won't get in the way. We could play for—" "Oh, shit! No!" James says. The boy falls down onto the bed, dead, and cold foam swam out of his mouth like a waterfall. His skin turned pale, and his eyes to the back of his head. He's gone from this world, they all are. 2 hours later, and police arrived the hotel room to inform the mother that her husband had died in a car accident. They reached her, but no one answered. They went up the front desk and asked if they had left the room at any time. The woman, about in her mid-20s with the long blonde hair that she said had only seen the father leave for work. The police became worried and asked if she could open the door and forget. The woman grabbed the key and walked offers. Once she opened it, the rush of human rotting stenches of all sort came at them. The first sight they see is the boy on the bed. He had died hours before the officers came. Flies ate at his body, and foam still possessed his mouth, and the eyes had died long ago. They opened the bathroom door and see horrific sight of the mother dead, pink and with wrinkled all over her body in the empty bathtub, with only the bloody knife on the floor and blood coming out from the back of her head. Months pass, and the world still turns, the bird chirps, and children still play in the ground. The crowds still fly, and the graveyards are still silent. But one grave won't be so silent to the rest of the world. The one whose body is named James Capps, April 17, 2000 to May 7, 2007. The one next to it, Brian Carroll, January 2, 2000 to May. Next, his parent, John and Mary Carroll. Some say James still haunts that house, killing more children one after another. So might I ask, do you believe in ghost stories? Of course I do. Dude, I've had experience with that shit. But that was, oh my god. I'm gonna leave a comment. But I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you guys later. Goodbye.